Hello, you crazy motherfuckers. Guess who's back? It's your boy. It's your boy Ike Palmer. I think that music might be a tad too loud. That's my guess, but I don't know how true that is. It's loud for me. That shit loud as fuck for me. I think it should be alright. I think it should be okay. Alright. I was about to stop streaming just then. That would have been a bit silly. Hello, freak bitches. What's going on? Welcome back to another Off Mic Ike. I was going to say Saturday Ike Live. Old habits die hard, huh? But no, not Off Mic Ike. We back. We back in a big way. We be consistent as fuck these days. Not usually, but these days we've been hustling. We've been grinding. Okay, motherfuckers. I got a question to ask. Do we do Gamer Subs Mango or Gamer Subs Cherry? That's my first question to you lovely bastards out there. I would say either way we're winning. Better than that G Fuel slop. I love my energy drinks with a side of lead. That's my favorite beverage. A little bit of lead. Now you may notice I got some fucking red dots on my face. Now that's because I made two critical errors before I started this stream, right? You wanna know what I did? My man, I see you took my advice. Hello, Hoodendale. I was gonna mention that actually. And you were right. Boy, were you right. I was naive not to do this like however many years ago. 2-3 years ago when I started streaming. And we're up. We're so up. We're winning. We're making millions of dollars, dude, on the dramas of the day. That's not true. I wish that were true. I wish I had a steak sponsorship from Steak Eddie, the man himself. Oh, I know what the issue is. Okay, that's better. That's much fucking better. I couldn't even hear myself over the music, and I was like, why the fuck can't I hear myself? It's because I didn't have my, what's it called? Direct monitor. My fucking direct monitor switch was turned off on my shit, so I was like, why the fuck can't I hear myself? That makes sense now. Love the editing and everything. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you are in the chat and you haven't checked that video out, go check it out right now. Nina Lynn, can't stop, won't stop. And I hate to gas myself up like crazy, but I think the thumbnail was kind of fire as well. You gotta have a bit of self-confidence when it comes to this kind of thing. You gotta do your thing. You gotta know your thing is your thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Alright, now I'm going to ask this one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Do I do the cherry or do I do the mango? I'm almost out of the cherry, so I feel like after this triple scooper, we're going to be done. We're going to be done for. It's going to be over. The video was awesome. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. I don't know, we got a little bit of cherry left. I reckon we probably got like 9 scoops. Nice. Should I just rail a fucking line of gamer subs right now? I would so get the sponsorship then, dude. If you keep it up with the live views plus video views, the watch time will be crazy. Hope so. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we get monetized by the end of the year, but I'm not going to hold my breath for that, because if I did, I'd probably go blue in the face and pass out. Beat you to it. Beat you to it, man. I reckon I'm gonna do cherry. I'm gonna do cherry because we're Lions boy. Yeah, and then I'll be no better than Pokimane. Pokey doing Koki. You guys know that clip? You guys know that clip? Should I bring it up? Should we do a live reaction to Pokimane doing coke while I... See, and the problem is, that's a perfect size spoon. But just, like, not that I would know. I'm quadruple tasking, by the way. Dude, you got that grind set on. You got that Ike Palmer grind set mindset on. Now, you had that grind set well before I started doing this shit, so I ain't gonna take any responsibility for that. I'm in a Discord call watching you Playing Clash Royale and working on scamming short. Dude, brother. Whoops. I didn't mean to beat the shit out of my mic then. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No shock collar for you, I promise. Tism mode activated. Yeah, exactly. What are you on that fucking Adderall or something? Have I double scooped or did I triple scoop already? Either, look, if we get to the end of the stream and I'm fucking like shaking like this, then you know that I've quadruple scooped by accident. Let's just put it that way. Alright. One extra can't hurt. One extra scoop can never hurt. Right? Unfamous YouTuber Ike Palmer found dead at 23 years old. On his gamer gung chair, dude. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna find me. They're gonna find me. Alright. Guys, I can't put down the cup. I can't put down the cup. Oh, it's going fucking everywhere. For fuck's sake. Fuck's sake, man. Am I alright in the head? Why did that go everywhere? What's wrong? What's wrong with this? Whacking off, dude. Bro, meth making. Yeah, I feel like Jesse Pinkman. Bitch! I will not be harassed in my own private domicile, bitch! So, the reason why I got all these dots on my face, I don't think I ever actually said why. So the reason for that is, I went down to the shop. God, I haven't eaten today. I completely forgot to eat. I've been on that grind set. I've been on that content grind set mindset. So I walked down to the shops, grabbing something just to eat quickly. Mind you, I left it all till about 6:30. So there's that too. And then I got back, ate the food, and I sat, bro, I was lifting. I was lifting out of rage. Because we'd be talking about some things that got me feeling a bit heated. A bit extra excited for no reason. Fent maxing. Bro, it got me fent maxing in the carp. Oh. Hey, Gamers Sub, sponsor me. Been on that fent maxing. Dude, I'm on that fent folding. I'm about to do my laundry while fent folding, ladies and gentlemen. See, fent's like a meth and... Oh, you said maxing. I thought you said making. I'm kind of a moron. If you blow up, remember the OG chat people always, dude. Always. You gotta remember the OGs. Even if they ain't here, even if they're here fleetingly. Like, there's one name. There's one legend who's currently missing at the moment from chat. We got a two graves. We got a lacking two graves situation here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I'll ever come back from this. The lack of two graves. Nah, but you guys legends. If I do blow up, you're gonna have to remember. There's gonna have to be a plaque in the background. Put your names on the TV in the background, hell yeah. Alright, we sipping that shit. But yeah, I was roid rage lifting. Not that I've ever done roids. Not that... Man, I keep beating the shit out of my mic. I keep beating the shit out of my mic like it's a dog that won't stay on the bed. But we'll get onto that. We'll get onto that shortly. We just here. We just little fellas. Fucking around. Mind you, I've also been caffeine maxing real hard. I think my heart will explode. Because about 15 minutes ago... Shit, no, 45 minutes ago now. I realized I was 15 minutes late to my own stream and we've already been live for 15 minutes, lol. I had a cup of coffee. We had that quadruple scoop of Moccona, gold Moccona. I think my heart's gonna explode. Once I finish this, it's over for me. Bro, be watching Hootendow TV in the background. Dude, you got a dono for that. You got a dono for that at least. At the very least. Alright, now my question is, are we actually set up for the stream or am I going to have to fart around for a little bit? Am I going to have to pretend to be organized for a while? Me saying that like it's not the usual fucking... usual suspects, usual syndrome, dude. Getting down. Getting down. Oh, fuck me. I can't... Look, you guys know, this has been known, Ike Palmer is not the streaming legend. Alright? I'm not technologically advanced enough to be doing this streaming shit at all whatsoever. Because at the moment, I'm quite literally piecing together the story, dude. I sound like a dap when he's talking about how much he loves cameras, dude. I'll donate $20 in 2026. Call that an investment. Call that a content investment, ladies and gentlemen. Also, whilst I've been editing all the clips and stuff recently, I've noticed that I do say, I have these little phrases, right? Like before we get into the main topic of something, I'll be like, alright, let's get into the meat and potatoes. I gotta switch it up. I say, also, another one is, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? That's a pretty frequent one on the Ike Palmer channel. What else is there? I've got a few catchphrases. Literally. Crazy. Insane. What the fuck? What the fuck? You can make a soundboard with Ike Palmer reactions. Somebody get the Elgato Stream Deck and just like program every button to have like one of my catchphrases. That's how often I'd be saying that shit. That's how often I'd be dribbling on. That fucking... oh, dude. I wish they sponsored me so I could get paid to say this. Instead, I'm saying it for free. That game of subs. That game of subs good. I know I coughed just after saying it, but... yeah, maybe there's a reason why they're not paying me. Say, let's get into the apple pie. That'd be a classic. That'd be written down. For the ages, dude. They're gonna etch that shit into stone, I reckon. That's what's gonna happen. Let me see. Yeah, that looks a bit better. That looks a bit better. Kind of fucked up the mic shadow, but... oh well. Maybe if I... what if I do that? Does that diffuse it a bit? Dynamic lighting, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know anything. Every video saying no food. I might have to. I might have to do that. That's probably the meta. That's probably the way to go with this shit. Alright, we got a couple of little subjects to talk about tonight. I think we should get right the fuck into it. Yeah, see, I changed it up. Let's get into the beef stroganoff of it all. So, a little follow-up to last week's episode. We talked about a streamer and content creator known as Nina Lin. Now, I'm not sure if you've been keeping up with stuff that's been going on, but there's recently been a little event called the Streamer Awards, and if you are based like me, you're not going to give a fuck about the Streamer Awards, because it's just a bunch of people who stream patting themselves on the back and jerking themselves off for making however many subs in however much time. I don't understand how you can sort of get around the idea of something like that. I think it's just silly. It's different to the Academy Awards, you know? Because at least, like, you know, they recognize the whole production team. You know, like, you got Best Director, you got Best Producer, you got Best Actor, Supporting Actor, Actress, VFX, Music, Cinematography, like, you got everything. You got every single department that's represented in those awards. Whereas when it comes to something like... when it comes to something like the Streamer Awards, it's just sort of like, let me Google this before I say it. Because I don't want to sound like an idiot, or more than an idiot like I usually do. Yeah, that's the word I was thinking of. Self-aggrandizing. It's a bit self-aggrandizing. It's a bit like, you know, pat yourself on the back for doing a job well done when the only person... okay, hang on, no, that was a bad equivalent. That was a bad... forget about it. Get that bisexual lighting going. Yeah, real. I got that shit. I got that shit in the room. That was old Ike Palmer. That was 2022 Ike Palmer. I've grown and changed since then. QT goofy air show. Yeah, real. That's what I mean. Like, it's the same 5 people. If there's no big up and comers in the year, who the fuck else is gonna win the Streamer Awards except for the big streamer from that other year, like the previous year? All them type shows are slop. Yeah. Yeah. And that's coming from a guy who makes grade A slop. I talk about tweets on the internet, dude. Not quite Bo Black situation. We're never going to get quite there. Never going to go that schizo insane, but there's this clip recently came out of Nina Lynn talking about how she doesn't think she's going to get invited to the Streamer Awards. Oh, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo, dude. So sad. I wish you could. I wish you could and I wish you did. But you, look, hey, isn't it what we call the consequences of our actions? Come on, knocking on your fucking door, motherfucker. Alright. So this is the clip. 30-second clip. Let's get into it. Hang on.
This year. With the whole shit
There
going
we go.
on, they definitely not gonna let me go.
Yeah, what?
Why? The whole shit.
But you,
So?
what does that mean?
You're back.
I am, but who knows?
Do you not know how many guys and streamers say homophobic shit? They've done so much shit and they're still gonna go?
I don't think that's the problem. And I also, look, not to say one is worse than the other, but one is most definitely worse than the other. I feel like that's... I don't know why they keep making these false equivalencies. It's just a bit strange. It's just a bit weird to me. Audio low. Is it still low? Is it still low? I cranked that shit up the full, man.
I feel like they just like bashing you more because
They
you're
do.
a girl.
They do. No, you know
And
what it
that's
is?
just like
It's
the
because they
truth.
don't like outspoken girls.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't like
wait,
girls who
no.
talk big shit.
Actually, you need to go. W Daisy with the 5 get there. No.
I don't.
They don't like outspoken girls? I really don't think that's the problem. And that's not the reason why you're not getting invited to the Streamer Awards. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel like there's 3 separate incidences and 3 separate examples of reasons why you're not invited to the Streamer Awards, but maybe that's just crazy. Maybe that's just a silly little thing to say, dude. What the fuck? What's next? What do we got on the docket? I just wanted to cover that because I just thought it was a bit silly for her to go, they don't like outspoken women. There's a whole raft of other reasons why you ain't invited. It's not because you're a woman. I find that really quite ironic to be saying in that way. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's get the fuck out of that one. Alright, so I was doing a bit of reading, you know, as Ike Palmer does. You were becoming a #1 op. No, this is it. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm ever going to say for the rest of the time. I made 4, technically 5 bits of content out of it. But that's it. I'm done. I just thought that that was something that needed to be covered. And it needed to be covered in a way that was comprehensive and put together. You know what I mean? Like, in a way... See, there we go. There we go. That's an instance of Ike Palmerism right there. No, I just wanted to sort of clip it. Not clip farm it. God, any way I say this just sounds really fucking scungy, I think. I wanted to create a video where it was all sort of compiled into one, like a hypercut, like a director's cut of Nina Lynn's worst moments. You know what I mean? Like that was the whole idea behind it. That was the whole point. Now, all right, we're moving on. We chewing through these subjects, all right? Because that's what we do in Ike Palmer world. We don't waffle on for unnecessary amounts of time if we don't have anything else to say. We put our 2 cents in, and then we cash the fuck out, ladies and gentlemen. But, Aiden Ross recently suggested that he might be stepping away from Kick. Now, he's not going to be stepping away from Kick in terms of his leadership position. He's going to be stepping away from Kick in terms of his streaming position. So, as you may know, Aiden Ross is a very popular streamer who got big for crazy, I'm about to say this, but for streaming, and then he got banned on Twitch and went over to Kick. And Kick is like, I think Trainwrecks owns a part of it, Aiden Ross owns a part of it, he's got stake in it. Ironically enough, Stake Eddie Craven, the creator of Stake.com, he is the CEO of it, and he moved over to steak, and then he's got several hundred problems with it over the last few years. He's been streaming with steak. Yummy. The last few years he's been streaming with Kick, and we'll get into that clip in a minute. Did you hear about that 1 mil sub channel stealing a lawyer's video? Now he getting sued by her. Alright, you got me digressing, Hootendow. You got me digressing. You can get in on the ground. I don't see many talking about it. You can get in on the ground floor, dude. Hell yeah. What the fuck would I even look up for that? I don't even know what I would, what the search terms would be for something like that. Lawyer steal. Only reason I go on Kick is to watch Ice Poseidon's content. Influencer sued for stealing social media content. Let's have a look. Was this a year ago? Dude, this was a year ago. You late on the content farm, brother. You know what? 13 minutes, 54 seconds? Fuck it. How about we do a real clip farming thing. We do a real content creator thing. Let's watch this shit. What's is this Bianca Fernandez? I don't want to get this wrong. No, it's new? No, it's new? Damn. You telling me that influencers are stealing content? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Instead of having that ASMR of me typing, I gotta turn the background music back on, dude. I'm trying to find this one. I don't know. There's a lot of stories about this. It's a Dying Light vid. Ah. I can link it if you want me. Okay, yeah, here. This is a crazy way to get mod. There you go. You're in. You're in, dude. You're a million bucks on the Ike Palmer channel. You lost it, dude. Now I see why a lot of these Twitch streamers have dead air. Because they gotta wait for their chat to create all the content for them. Alright, let's have a look at this.
On the 13th of
Ink Slasher. Interesting. Let's watch this. Let's clip farm the shit out of this. Wait. Alright. I gotta make myself a little bit smaller in the reaction cam. Because otherwise I'm just taking up too much of the... That's not conducive for anybody to be watching. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this shit. Let's get it. Let's get this shit.
August, I released a video about the story of Dying Light prior to the Beast. About a month later, another YouTuber called Ink Slasher also released a video about the story of Dying Light prior to the Beast. The problem though is that his video is my video. Well, mostly. His video is 43 minutes long. More than 30 minutes of that are my video. just with a poorly rewritten version of the script recorded over it. Let's have a look at the
That's crazy. That's a crazy dunk. To just be like, it's the same video, these two are the same fucking thing, but it's just got a real shit script over the top of it. How embarrassing is that? And the plot twist of her being a lawyer is funny. Imagine being a gaming YouTuber and a lawyer. Like, being a gaming YouTuber is your side hustle. The 11,000 sub channel is the side hustle. And how many views did the other one get? 210. Hang on, let's see this. Let's see this. Ink Slasher.
Ladies and gentlemen,
To be fair, this looks like the kind of guy who would just straight up steal content. He seems like the motherfucker who would do that. And his banner is just woods. Not even the good woods from Black Ops 1 or 2. It's like woods from Black Ops 6. The end of an era. Damn. Let's have a look. Dying Light. I can't type for shit. I haven't had enough caffeine. Damn! He deleted the video! There's no look at this. Look at this. There's no fucking trace of it. Dying Light, right? Did I spell that right? Did I fuck that up? I don't know. There's no trace of it at all. This is the same motherfucker, right? Yeah. Yeah, same guy. It's disappeared. So, she won.
Introductions to the franchise in both of the videos. This
Your video is zoomed in a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be zoomed in a lot. It's got to be zoomed in a lot. I don't want to fuck up with copyright, especially now she's a lawyer. I know she's a lawyer. I got to do everything I can to count this as transformative content.
is all mine. My footage, my screen recordings of the websites, my composition, and most importantly, my editing. Most of the gameplay footage throughout Inkslash's video is my video as well. The remaining parts of his video consist of an intro and outro by Inkslasher himself, and
Oh yeah, but the intro and outro are the transformative parts. Like those are the devil's advocate. No, I'm just being a dickhead.
cutscenes taken from Gamer's Little Playground, including the very first cutscene from the first game, where you can see not only Gamer's Little Playground's watermark, but also their subscribe graphic pops up. Look, my video took over 200 hours to make, and that's not an exaggeration. See, Dying Light 2 in particular has many different story options, and different endings depending on the choices you make. In my Dying Light 2 section,
I can understand why it would take so long to make that. It makes sense for 200 hours worth of work. However, the thing is, not to sound like a dickhead or anything, but it feels like she could have optimized it a bit better. 200 hours. Maybe majority of that was research, I don't know.
I made great efforts to identify each path and label them in the video. What Dying Light 2 doesn't have is a manual save system, so if you want to play through all the options and get all the endings, you have to replay it repeatedly.
Okay,
So
that
that's
makes
what I
sense.
did in order to get the footage for my video. I would be very surprised if Inkslasher, on the other hand, has ever even played it once. See, one of the other problems with
Fucking got him. He's not a real gamer. He's a fake gamer. He's played Call of Duty. He's played every Call of Duty release since 2011. But that's it. That's as far as his breadth of knowledge of gaming goes. Guaranteed. Bro trying to steal but not even trying. See, he didn't even remove the... Yeah, exactly. He didn't even remove the watermark. He's not even actually trying to steal the content. See, the difference here is... I feel like reaction content where you've actually got something to say, you've actually got running commentary, and it's transformative, is very vastly different to whatever the fuck this guy was trying to do. This guy was just like out here posting shit on the... Do you reckon he just ran the transcript of the video through ChatGPT and was like, hey, change this up so it doesn't sound like I'm stealing it? Can I copy your homework? Yeah, change it up a little bit so it doesn't look suspicious. Nah, he asked, can I copy your homework? And she went, no. And he went, okay, photocopied.
his video is that it's wrong. parts of the story are retold incorrectly, with massive mistakes that no one who played the games would make. There is a mission in Dying Light 1, for example, where you're trying to find a drug called Anderson, and you were told that there might be a stockpile of it in a school. So you go there to check it out, but instead of the Anderson, you happen to find explosives. In Inkslash's version, though, you go to the school searching not for the Anderson, but for the explosives. The same issues occur in his Dying Light 2 section.
No, actually, you know what? I think my my theory of him running the script through a AI and saying change it so it don't sound the same seems like a pretty good theory, especially when you see the fact that he's gone, you were looking for the explosives instead of looking for the Anderson. I think that, I hate to say it, I feel like it's actually not a bad theory.
In Dying Light 2, you are trying to find your sister Mia. Along the way, you have to do different tasks for different people, and early on you are investigating the death of a character called Lucas. Lucas had a unique weapon, and you were told that someone named Maya had been trying to sell this weapon. You track Maya down, but find that she's a young girl who had nothing to do with the death. This is Inkslash's version.
Lo and behold, the information that he finds out is that the person with the
Hang on, I've got this zoomed in too much, but at the bottom it says, yeah, this was my footage as well. That's funny as fuck.
Lazarus weapon, in other words, the person that killed the commander, is a girl by the name of Maya, who is held up in the tenement building. So of course, Aiden goes there and meets with Maya. Now, when he gets to Maya expecting to see his sister, it is not his sister. It is a completely different Maya that is a child and apparently found the Lazarus.
Yeah, in this part of his video, he thinks that Aiden's sister's name is Maya, and thinks that Aiden was expecting to find his sister with Lazarus. There are other mistakes in the video, but these are two examples which fundamentally change the story.
Okay, I can't really comment on that, because I'm going to say, like, what is the character's sister's name? You know what I mean? I can't tell how big of a fumble that actually is, because, I mean, look, like, that's a very minute point to the greater idea of this whole thing. Like, imagine just blatantly stealing somebody's content, not even bothering to try and edit it at all, or try and add, like, commentary that is transformative, or giving your own opinion on it. I think the funniest part is that he's, like, a fake gamer. He's a fake gamer and he steals content. He didn't even play the actual fucking game himself.
And render Inkslash's video completely useless for what it was trying to do, which was explain the story of Dying Light. But of course, the main issue here isn't that he is a fake. No, the issue here is that he is a huge creator with over 1 million subscribers who chooses to steal from smaller creators. Because he hasn't just done this to me. There are other videos on his channel which very clearly contain content from smaller creators. So if you do watch any of his videos, firstly, stop doing that. He doesn't deserve your views. But
got him. Hey, no, to be fair, okay, look, let me put it this way, right? Let me get Inkslash's channel up, alright? If I can fucking type. So, he's a bigger content creator. However, the only time he ever actually gets any view, like, he gets decent views, right? In the amount of time that it's been uploaded. But for a guy with 1.19 million subscribers, for all intents and purposes, this is a dead channel. You know what I mean? Like, this, compared to the sub count, is a massive, massive discrepancy. You know what I mean? Like, this is embarrassing, like, with the over 1 million sub channel. Like, Silent Hill F, ending explained. What are the odds that that's stolen? Should probably talk about this beforehand. I'm sort of jumping the gun a bit here, but, like, I just think, because I remember seeing this when I looked at his channel before, like, he doesn't, like, get a ridiculous amount of views. You know what I mean? And the ones that are original, like, he probably doesn't get any fucking views for. Like, let's go to his most popular videos. Alright, I would say maybe that one's original. I can't say for certain. Everything from this point on is basically just straight hearsay and slander and lies. Let's just say that. 1 mil sub YouTuber steals video from lawyer would be a banger title. Yeah, so real. That's actually true. That would be a banger title.
If you do and you happen to see a video that looks really similar to another YouTuber, let that other YouTuber know. Because unless someone tells us or we happen to click on a video,
COD law, bro, the COD law is massive. The COD law is deep. I would make a whole channel dedicated to COD lore. I would make a whole channel dedicated, like the Smith Plays, dedicated to just COD Zombies lore, dude. Element 115, Richtofen, Gertsch device. Dude, crazy.
we won't ever know that our content was stolen. There is a good chance that Inkslasher thought that I was so small that no one would notice or tell me that my content had been stolen. And he probably thought that if I did find out, nothing would happen. Because generally nothing does. I filed a copyright claim and he filed a counter notification, telling YouTube that his video was his original content. Obviously this wasn't true, but once a counter notification has been filed, all you can do to protect your content is start legal proceedings. You have to sue the person who stole from you. And YouTube only gives you 10 days to do this before they...
See, that's the fucked up thing with the DMCA system on YouTube, right? If you have a massive corporation who's suing or like copyright claiming a video on your channel, right? So say for example, I make a video, I get copyright claimed, and then I have to, like, I get fully DMCA'd. And then what happens is I end up having to go through the legal proceedings if it is genuinely my own content or I consider it transformative. A multi-million, if not billion-dollar company compared to a small little shitter like me, you think I got the money to go up against a multi-year legal battle, copyright legal battle? Hell nah. Hell the fuck nah. I ain't got that kind of dosh, dude. I ain't got that kind of money. Like, all you gotta do is just roll over and die. That's all you can do as a small YouTuber when it comes to, like, actual, real, hardcore DMCA claims. But that goes the other way as well. So, like, when you're making the claim, like she said, she copyright claimed it, he said, nah. And then she was like, no, this is actually my fucking content, crazy enough. But then she turned out to be a lawyer. This is the wrong person to be stealing from. Like, that's so embarrassing.
Reinstate the infringing video. Most small creators just don't have any capacity to do this. Lawsuits are very expensive, and the legal system is...
Okay, I just completely fucking jumped the gun. I said exactly what she said before. Alright, well, maybe... Okay, whatever.
Really complicated. So, for most creators who have their content stolen, that's where the story ends. The video is reinstated. The bad guy wins. But not this time. This time, the small creator he stole from is a lawyer. When Inkslasher filed a false counter notification, YouTube told me I had to take legal action, and that's exactly what I did. I filed in the Federal Circuit and Family Court of Australia, which I
Woo! Yeah! Winning!
can do because
Winning.com.
I'm Australian and I created the video here. Australian copyright law uses a
Plus
clear-cut
Australia
standard
inflation,
called fair
yeah, bro.
dealing, which Inkslasher cannot claim. He may instead try to argue that my video is just content from Dying Light, but the footage I recorded, edited, and turned into a video is legally mine, even according to the developer's and user license agreement.
I find that very interesting, actually. So, when she said something about... What was that thing she
Developers
said
and
before?
user license is legally mine. To argue that my video is just content from Dying Light, here. Australian copyright law uses a clear-cut standard called fair dealing.
Fair dealing. Okay, fair dealing. So is that like fair use? I would assume so. Copyright law, Australia. I almost spelled law, L-O-R-E. Fair dealing limits the boundaries of copyright, and accordingly the fair dealing exceptions are not simply defenses to infringement. Okay, yeah, so it's basically just fair use. The equivalent is fair use. Isn't it sad that I know the copyright system in the US better than I do the Australian copyright system, considering I reside in Australia? That's kind of sad, but makes a lot of sense because YouTube is a US-based company, but I suppose that doesn't matter, which is what she's saying. She can go based off of the fair dealing laws.
Which Inkslasher cannot claim. He may instead try to argue that my video is just content from developers and user license agreement. My hope is that by me seeing this through, it will not only protect my videos, but it will set a precedent that will make it easier for other creators who have their content stolen to take action. I'm also talking to a law firm who is interested in seeing if there is a way to streamline the path for creators, so that it is a bit more cost effective for small...
Did she just invent... Is this literally like Australian FUPA? This is crazy. You remember when Ethan Klein and Ethan and Ela were getting sued for their content? And then they went, or they were suing? No, they were getting sued for their content. What is the fucking FUPA law? She reading the fine print. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely. It's her fucking job. But this is equivalent to FUPA. And that didn't end very well in the US. Just saying. He's fucked. Yeah, he's absolutely fucked. Screwed royally.
Creators to take action in the future. In terms of the cost for my matter, I was quoted up to 135,000 Australian dollars for the whole case.
Hey? 135,000 Australian dollars? This is what I mean. You could absolutely just completely tank and kill a channel if you just put through false copyright claims. Or you take them to court. So basically any billionaire could just completely shit all over a smaller content creator, get all of their content DMCA'd, and then their channel will be terminated. Oh god. If somebody does that because they watched this and they went, oh, that's a really good idea, I'm gonna be so sorry for my actions.
I have already spent a few $1,000s on legal fees to have a copyright lawyer review my application and send correspondence on my behalf. I am determined to see this through regardless of the cost, in order to set the precedent that stealing from smaller creators will not be tolerated, and there will be real consequences for larger creators who try to take advantage of the power imbalance that exists on YouTube.
She definitely sounds like a lawyer. I'll just say that much. Not to... that sounds a bit rancid. That sounds a bit rude. But she definitely does sound like a lawyer. She got that lawyer speak down pat.
Use your support though to see this through. If you're able to, you can donate to my GoFundMe to help cover the legal cost of this case and set a precedent for small creators. Even if you can't donate, you can still help by watching my videos, sharing this one, or letting other creators know about this issue. While I am a lawyer with a steady income, I work primarily in family law on fixed fee matters. This means that I don't have tens of thousands of dollars readily available to cover these legal fees. Unlike
and sure as shooting, she ain't gonna have $125,000 to cover the legal fees of this. And I think one of the reasons why it would be so expensive is because you have to take into consideration that they got the US copyright law and they got the Australian copyright law. But I feel like this is... the whole thing with smaller creators, it's a really good idea to protect them from copyright abuse. I think it's an excellent idea. And I think I commend that. However, what ended up happening... because I can't remember off the top of my head what happened with FUPA. Besides the fact that H3 actually fell off. Because they... Following a lawsuit from another YouTuber, H3's legal fund was used to create the fair use protection account. It's not agency. I'm stupid. My apologies. An escrow account managed by their legal team to help others with fair use cases with themselves as the first client. So they received $120,000 through a GoFundMe campaign and placed it in an escrow account which would be used to fund their fair use case and defend their fair use case. Does it still exist? It was Matt Hoss. It was Matt Hoss, that's right. I remember that. However, like, necessarily having FUPA not work as, like, an escrow account doesn't really matter because them having one sets a precedent in the US because of case law, blah, blah, blah. I don't actually understand law all that well. Good thing I wasn't the one who got sued, but, or is doing the suing or got stolen from. But she, she's family law, so it's very different as well, but she would understand the jargon a lot better than I would. Sounds like something Moist Critical would cover. This video only has 17k. We'll see how well it goes. Because it's really strange, the topics that sort of... This is a bit of a digression from this topic, but it's interesting how these topics sort of blow up randomly as well. Because I remember my my short on Enigma got way more views than I thought it would. I thought it wasn't going to get all that many views, but it ended up getting, I think, somewhere in the ballpark of like 1.5 to 2K. So there's that too.
Larger creators who make significant income from their channels and can use their resources to crush small creators. Every bit of support helps level the playing field. And if you are a small gaming creator, maybe take the time to have a look at Inkslash's channel, just to make sure that your content doesn't appear there. If it does, please feel free to reach out to me. I've already started reaching out to other creators whose content I believe is in his videos. Also, if you do see Inkslasher making any comments about this case, please let me know, as anything that he says now can be used in court.
Interesting. So he basically just got absolutely shit on by a lawyer. Imagine stealing from a lawyer who understands fair use, or fair dealing as it's called in Australia, as I've learned. That's actually pretty fucking embarrassing. Okay, so I'm just doing a little bit of reading on the fair use protection account from like the fund from H3H3, but it's interesting that the fund existed, and the thing that was the major backlash with it was that he underestimated the attorney and legal fees for fighting his case against Matt Hoss, and it ended up in 1 month costing $54,000, right? So I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. So that's 54,000 American dollars, right, for 1 month. This creator, what's her name? Even Bad Wolves Gaming was estimated to have to pay $125,000 to get. Also, disavowing that comment, Hootendale. I do not condone that behavior, just to make that very clear. Funny joke though. She was quoted by a fair use lawyer, by a copyright lawyer, $125,000. But that's not for the whole case. That's to start. That's like a initiating fee. So for him to go, oh yeah, 120 US dollars is going to be enough for myself and other content creators is kind of crazy. Sad how it didn't end up working out, but they expressed interest in expanding the fund, and it didn't happen. So who's to say that this one is going to end up the same way? But it just really made me have like a massive flashback moment to when they were talking about FUPA and how awesome it's going to be that all these small content creators are going to be able to defend themselves. However, Ethan Klein is definitely not anywhere near a lawyer. So hopefully something actually productive comes out of this, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. God damn, I don't even think we've... How the fuck we've been live for an hour already? We've been making content, ladies and gentlemen. We've been out here. So that was a bit of a massive digression, but it's all for the love of the game, ladies and gentlemen. You're telling me. The stream didn't auto start for me. Dude, you've been waiting for an hour? You've been waiting for an hour to catch up on a stream? Rip the FUPA fund. Yeah, rest in peace, FUPA. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on to our next topic. We're going to be talking about a little fella named Aiden Ross. We're going to be talking about a little fella named Aiden Ross. So Aiden Ross recently said... I did say this a while ago, but I might reiterate because we went on a bit of a tangent there. Aiden Ross recently said that he's going to be stepping away from doing big streams on Kick, and he's going to be moving over to doing that stuff on Twitch, which kind of confuses me, right? Because I thought he was banned off of Twitch, and I could be completely wrong. But I thought he was absolutely wiped off the face of the earth from Twitch. So I don't know how he plans on actually doing that. But he's decided that it's time to step back from Kick because his money's low. He was offered a great deal of money to be on Kick exclusively. And that reminds me of another thing. This is kind of like the throwback episode, because that reminds me of a little thing that happened a while ago. Anyway, this is his statement. 17 seconds, so you don't have to be too cranially invested in it.
But I got dropped from stake, and I need to make that very clear. When I got dropped from stake, that's when my KPP got lowered. Okay? And by the way, my KPP just didn't get lowered. Go ask all your favorite streamers that stream on Kick. All their shit did. Okay? All their shit did.
Which I find it very interesting that he got dropped by stake, even though he's not only not co-owner, but he has a very large percentage of stake. Sorry. He has a very large percentage of Kick that he owns along with other big streamers. That was a bit of a gaffe, wasn't it? But with that, Stake is owned. The CEO of Stake, or the co-founder of Stake, is the CEO of Kick, right? Sorry, I've had too much caffeine, so I'm getting all my fucking wires crossed. The co-founder of Stake is the CEO of Kick, right? And so with that knowledge in mind, him getting kicked from Stake, kicked from having Stake as a sponsor, is really interesting considering the CEO of the platform wanted him on Kick. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really make much sense to me. It doesn't really add up in that way. I think he got Ghost unbanned when that new CEO dude came on Twitch. Right, so Dan Clancy unbanned him. Interesting. Well, look, to be honest, if I had to choose out of Kick or Twitch, I'd probably go with Kick just because Twitch kind of blows. And I thought that Kick was going to do really successful. I remember, it's been a couple of years Kick's been around, right? And when it first came to a head, I thought, oh, you know what? This might actually do something. I thought, right? I did a little bit of research into it this afternoon. But I was under the impression that Kick might have actually gone somewhere, but the problem with it was, and I've got a couple of notes here because I don't want to absolutely butcher this, but Kick fell off. And the reason Kick fell off is because they promised the idea of being able to say and do whatever you want, right? So it was at a time when Twitch was very much so wrangling their terms of service, wrangling the streamers because of their terms of service, because it was monetized via ads. And I think this was around the same time that Amazon purchased it, or it might have been a little bit after. But they promised the idea of being able to say and do whatever you want. And the biggest example of this would be when you had Trainwrecks, who was gambling on Twitch, and a whole lot of streamers who were gambling on Twitch. They got banned. You're trying to tell me Aiden Ross got kicked from Kick, basically? No, he didn't get kicked from Kick. He just got his money taken away. Which, for a guy like Aiden Ross, well, a guy like any of us, really, that's really bad. That's really fucking bad for him. You want to see moths flying out of his pocket, dude? Hell nah. And they didn't even actually, like, take his money away. Sort of. Kind of did. In a way. But then there was that whole controversy. See, I understand why they did this as well. Because there was that whole... Sorry, I'm tweaking, looking at my windows and shit. Then there was that whole controversy of him streaming the whole Super Bowl and the halftime show and everything like that with copyrighted content. Here we go again, back to the whole idea of fair use and actually transformative content, because that wasn't transformative content. He was just sitting there. Like, I remember there was people watching whole episodes of MasterChef or Kitchen Nightmares on Twitch, and there was the same thing. Also hear Aiden talking about the Twitch CEO to his face. We'll look at that in a minute. But the biggest draw for a lot of the people wasn't the fact that they could say or do whatever they want. That was a big part of it, but I would say it's probably only about a quarter of the reason. One of the biggest reasons, 3/4 of the reason why people went over to Kick instead, was that they were not promised, but it was very heavily implied that they were going to make a lot more money off of Kick than they were on Twitch. Now, this is because it's primarily bankrolled by Stake, which is a gambling company, which I found out, very funnily enough. So I've heard about Stake before, right? You see all those, it's either Rainbet or Stake. You find a lot of those trolling, like IRL trolling YouTubers going out into fucking Target and then like being like, RUN, and then they'll pull up their phone because they got the fucking Ray-Ban Meta glasses on, and they'll be playing like Rainbet or Stake or something like that, and it's a gambling sponsorship, right? I know about it a little because I follow this Ice Poseidon Orbit channels. Yeah, and they're all part of the same sort of fucking community, right? But the money was a massive draw for a lot of people to come back to Kick as opposed to being a part of Twitch or YouTube streaming, right? But the problem there is that you can't promise massive contracts and you can't promise massive payouts with only having one primary sponsor or one primary backer of the company, one primary investor, and then expect it to be financially viable, especially when it's basically just Stake Eddie investing into Kick constantly and non-stop, right? And if you don't have that Stake partnership, you lose that money because it's basically a streaming platform to advertise Stake. And when they couldn't do that on, because that was a really lucrative part of Stake's advertising campaign, was that they had Twitch streamers gamble on stream with, now it could be like a CSGO lotto thing where it's like they're not actually losing the money or it's rigged from the start, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but I don't actually know. I haven't done any research into that. The hour pay is a cool thing they have over other platforms. See, and I would agree, however, just put the fries in the bag, little bro. You know what I mean? If you're doing it to get an hourly pay, I don't know how I feel about that. But there's a lot of things that they promised that they couldn't deliver on. It's a whole lot of false promises served up on a silver platter, basically. So they could get away with higher payouts initially and really high signing bonuses on contracts because they were backed or funded primarily by Stake, right? And this became a problem when a lot of the streamers have been asked to gamble on stream, and not out of their own creative control or the fact that that's something that they wanted to do initially anyway. It's just something they wanted to do as an option, but because of that being one of their major sponsors. You know what I mean? It's like being sponsored by G Fuel, but you off stream exclusively only drink gamer subs. You know what I mean? I gotta stop saying that. I promise I'll learn to stop saying you know what I mean. But the really interesting thing for me about the whole Stake thing is that you guys remember when was it? It was about 2016 to about 2020. I don't know, man. The Stake make a lot of money, so I believe they could be a thing for many years without making their money back. Oh, absolutely. And I don't deny that they could be around for a lot longer. I'm not saying this is the end of Kick. However, if there's a lot of people who aren't... Let's put it this way, right? If you don't have the people viewing the streams on Kick, and you don't have the streamers streaming on Kick, then you don't have Kick, no matter how much money you're pouring into having the hosting for the website. You know what I mean? And it doesn't seem like anybody like XQC or... who the fuck else is on Kick? I don't know any other big Kick streamers. But it's not like any of those other guys are going to be running away anytime soon. It seems like it's just Aiden Ross who's very not happy with it, with the platform at the moment. But the basic idea of this sort of reminded me of Mixer. Now, I don't think it's going to be the same as Mixer. I don't think it's going to be as nuclear as what happened with Mixer, but I think the equivalency isn't entirely unfounded. So it just reminds me of Mixer with the whole shit that happened with Ninja and everything. So Mixer was made in 2016, I believe, and it ran to about 2020. So that's a 4-year lifespan. Now, the reason they got sort of popular or some sort of an audience was the fact that they were paying massive contracts to big creators. Like the most notable one, the one that I have an actual tangible example of, is Ninja Tyler Blevins, or Tyler Ninja Blevins, getting paid. Now it's reported to be anywhere from 20 to 50 million, but I think the ballpark's probably more like 20 to 30 million dollars just to move from Twitch to Mixer. And he signed an exclusivity contract, and he only had to be on the platform for 14 months before they completely shut down Mixer. Like, it was done. Like, that was the easiest 30-ish million dollars that I think Tyler Ninja Blevins has ever made. Mr. Fortnite himself. Mr. Floss on New Year's stream. But yeah, I think it could be a very similar thing that happens with Stake. It could go either way. Like Hootendow said, I think they have enough money from Stake, being such a lucrative company, to fund them going forward and indefinitely. But if you got nobody watching and you got nobody viewing, what's the fucking point? Sorry, nobody watching and nobody streaming, nobody creating content. Is it just going to end up like, what is that called? Storyfire? Where creators got paid in Blaze and then they could convert the Blaze to money. That was, fuck, what was his name? McJuggernuggets. McJuggernuggets platform. Damn, that's a fucking throwback. That's one that just came to me just now. I didn't do any pre-existing research to that. Yeah, Jesse Ridgway and Brian Spitz. An in-app currency called Blaze, allowing users to tip creators or charge for content. The platform was shut down in 2023 after experiencing issues with functionality and creator monetization, which it seems that Kick doesn't really have an issue with functionality or creator monetization, but dude, Storyfire was a whole fucking thing in and of itself. Who knows, maybe I'll make a story time video about Storyfire. Oh yeah, I know my McJuggernuggets lore. And that's the thing, like, going into it, like, a whole lot of people had a whole lot of good intentions going into that, but it just sort of shit the bed. And that's what happens when you don't know what the fuck you're doing when creating an application. Seems like they know what they're kind of doing for Kick, though, at least. You know what I do find very interesting about Kick CEO Eddie Craven, also known as Stake Eddie. Stake was like a RuneScape gambling thing, right? So I only found this out a few hours ago, but Stake was a RuneScape gambling thing originally. They got banned off of RuneScape. I don't know how it works, so I've never played RuneScape. But it was a RuneScape gambling thing that sort of translated, after they got banned from RuneScape, translated to actual real monetary gambling, and that made Eddie Craven and I can't remember the other guy's name off the top of my head. Hang on. Stake founders. Edward Craven, and Bijan Tehrani in 2017 ended up making they're billionaires now. Ed Craven's a billionaire, and I don't know much about Bijan Tehrani. Let's have a look. Let's deep dive into this. Yep. Australian billionaire, entrepreneur, and co-founder of Stake, the largest crypto-backed online casino in the world. He's also a co-founder of Kick, a streaming platform. So these guys, so it's so integrally linked to Kick and Stake. Like, they're intertwined. It's like the Roko's basilisk, dude. It just eats itself. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So they could keep going on forever. I feel like it would take a long time for Eddie and Bijan to run out of money if they just consistently pumped everything into Stake, into Kick. You know what I mean? And that's how Eddie found out about Ice Poseidon. Yeah, exactly. Hootendow knows the lore. Hootendow knows the lore better than I do. But I find it so funny because Eddie and Bijan are both Australian, right? But Now, when I first heard about stake, look, I like gambling. I enjoy gambling. I'm a gambling man myself. Not so much these days, but I used to really, really enjoy gambling. And basically, I tried to get onto stake, but in Australia, you can't get onto stake without a VPN, right? And stake has this weird sort of roundabout way of working. So it will just go, so they actually operate out of Australia, right? But the business is based in Curacao, which is a Caribbean island. So then they don't have to do all the paperwork and run an online casino based in Australia, because you can't do that. Online casinos are not legal in Australia at all whatsoever. So these guys basically just like big fucking brain the shit out of this. As horrible as it is to run an online casino, or, you know, morally ambiguously, it's horrible to run a casino at all. But I think it's, I mean, where there is a demand, there will be a supply. In the same way that taxing Australians hundreds of billions of dollars a year for tobacco, even though people are going to be going to smoke stores, like illegal smoke stores and vape stores, you just make, like, I don't know, man. I just think it's silly. People are going to get what they want to get whenever they want to get it. They're going to be fent maxing, they're going to be crack maxing, they're going to be going out and getting whatever the fuck they need to get their fix, and you ain't going to stop them by making it illegal. Just my opinion. I love gambling. Hell yeah. Ice Poseidon is like the only one on that side with real viewers, lol. Yeah, and then there's that whole other part of it where it's like the issue with you've got like a lot of botting, apparently, a lot of view botting, a lot of sub botting that goes on with stake that makes it not particularly a preferable platform to be a part of, apparently. That's a big part of it, to not be the ideal thing to be a part of. He has to like ice a lot because he's the only one to kick with a space in his name. Yeah, true. No underscore. No underscore for Ice Poseidon. Also, I realized when I talked about Ice Poseidon in one of the other streams, I kept calling him Ice Poseidons with an S for some fucking reason. I don't know why I did that. I just got brain problems, apparently. All right, let's take a little break from the topics. I kind of want to chill for a little bit. Not like chill, but like, dude, this is so hard. This streaming thing is so difficult. Have you guys ever had to make content full time? You know how fucking difficult that shit is? Huh? Do you? Do you know how fucking difficult it is to make content? Do you know how difficult it is to stream for more than 1 hour? Boo! Man, what the fuck? No, it's not. I jest, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a little bit of humor in good spirits. I've been watching Ice since 2017, so I know a lot of lore. He's like the only streamer I watch. Hey, what the fuck am I, huh? What the fuck am I, chopped liver? Am I chopped liver hooting down? Maybe when I blow up, I'm gonna act like I don't know nobody. Rah, 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 rah. And you too. There we go. We got around to it eventually. What other... I wonder, can you get away with gambling on YouTube? Not that I'm not gonna start fucking gambling as a topic break, because that would be crazy. That'd be fucking crazy after I just spent like the last 20 minutes shitting on stake, shitting on online casinos. I'm gonna go and start an account with one of them. I can't wait for me and Ike to go to a pub again. Long overdue, my brother. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Saved it. Saved it, dude. Man, hey, somebody reach out to Gamer Subs. Somebody email GamerSubs and say sponsor this guy. Please. Please. I want free tubs. I want free tubs. Do they give me money or do they give me tubs? Or can I get both? Is that an option? I was watching gambling shorts a few minutes ago. See, this is what I'm saying. It's fucking everywhere, dude. So gambling is okay on... You know where gambling is actually really okay? Instagram. I see fucking gambling shorts on Instagram. Sorry, gambling reels on Instagram all the fucking time. Like, there's this guy I follow called Vegas Matt. He was actually a very big proponent as to why I stopped gambling, because I watch him play sometimes. This guy has a lot more money than... or like Togi, right? Togi gambles on YouTube. But this guy, Vegas Matt, he has a lot of money. He has a lot of money. But he plays safe, he plays smart, he mostly plays like blackjack or baccarat. I only watch the blackjack ones because I don't understand baccarat. I know it's not that complicated, but I just haven't been bothered to learn it since I quit gambling. But his blackjack videos, he plays it so safe, and most of the time he just gets shit all over. It's like, you know, when you get like 2 9s or something and you go, 18, I could stand and make money, or I could split and then make more money. And then he splits, and then he gets another 9, and then he splits again. And then he gets another 9, and he splits again, and then he gets... What's bad? It's like consistent 16s. You know what I mean? Like he'll every time it'll be like 7, 7, 7, 7, and then he's doing $1,000 a hand. So every time he splits, he's got to do another $1,000. And then all of a sudden, this guy's like $5,000 in the hole. But to him, that's probably just a fucking drop in the bucket, isn't it? Split on blackjacks are insane, absolutely. And if you have a good run on blackjack, and you start getting split after split after split, like for example, at my nearest casino, there's party blackjack, right? Which is the cheapest blackjack you can do. You have to pay for splits. And then you've got free bet blackjack, which I think is a little bit different in the way that you basically can split as many times as you want for free, and if you win, you get that money, right? But majority of the time, and I think the reason why free bet blackjack exists is because the casinos know this. I mean, you know, Fallout Season 2 trailer, house always wins. You know what I'm saying? But if you get an insane split run, you go 9 split, 9 split, 9 split, 9 split, all of a sudden, your hope should fall out of your ass. You should split once, and if you have the opportunity to split again, if it's not like 2 8s, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't split again, because obviously like a 16's a shit hand in blackjack, but you know if you get over 1 or 2 splits, done. Over. Your run's getting absolutely fisted by the dealer, dude. Guaranteed, 100%. Whether it's an online casino. Oh, another guy I watch, Labanjica. He's awesome. I fucking love that guy. He's funny as fuck. He'd be trolling in the online casino chat. He'd be razzing and rizzing up the online blackjack dealers. Thinking of opening an elite. Okay, I'm not gonna read that out, but I think that's a great idea. I think that's a wonderful idea. That could be $1 million idea. Well, I mean, is there any games with an in-game currency or item that you can use as leverage to create an online casino? Just think about that. Just think about that. I'm a fake gamer, so I don't actually have any games off the top of my head that I could do that with. I'm sure that there would have been a way to do it with Splitgate when Splitgate 1 was popular, but who the fuck plays Splitgate anymore? Except for me. And I'm shit at it. Amazing idea if you ask me. There you go. Just you gotta start thinking like a mover and a shaker. You gotta start thinking like a money maker, you know what I'm saying? You can't just be sitting there going, you know what? I'm happy doing what I'm doing for the rest of my life. Fuck no. You gotta be making moves, man. This is coming from a guy who's never made moves in his life, but you gotta make moves. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That time it was ironic, I promise. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Damn, an hour and a half and we're only about a third into the stream. This is gonna be a long one. This is gonna be so hard to clip farm, dude. Might have to start paying people to clip farm for me. That's not a bad idea, actually. Alright, so next up. We got a little topic to talk about. You guys know Hassan Piker. So there's two things that I wanted to talk about with in regards to Hassan Piker. Three things actually. One, I don't like him, and I don't think I ever will, which is fine. And I'm just a little shitter, dude. Who cares about my opinion? I care about my opinion, and I'm here to give it to you. So the streamer, political streamer, and bread tuber, I assume he's a bread tuber, Destiny. I've not really watched much of Destiny. I think what I have seen though makes him an excellent, he's an excellent masturbator. Shit. Sorry. He's an excellent debater. He's good at deconstructing arguments and being based sometimes. I care about your opinion. After that statement, I probably wouldn't if I were you. But he tweeted this out, right? Now this is a bit shocking, a little bit scary. Big if true. So in response to Hassan reacting to a Nick Fuentes clip, and I don't want to get into the intricacies of that because obviously that's like talking about these guys is going to bring up a whole bunch of things about politics. I don't really give a shit about politics, right? I don't really understand politics. Bleep that out. No, I'm going to keep it in, dude. We're clip farming, not even intentionally. Hassan talks about vetoing Nick Fuentes' jokes on leftovers, blames Destiny for kickstarting Fuentes' rise, which is ironic because the two biggest proponents as to why Hassan actually got big was his uncle, the billionaire uncle. Actually, I don't know how much money does Hassan's uncle make? That's a great question. Why the fuck can't I spell? I've had too much caffeine. I'm fucking tweaking hard. Okay. Sank. I'm fucking that up. I'm starting a fire that I can't run away from by talking about these guys. That's all I'm gonna say. But he's worth quite a bit. He's worth quite a bit, right? Obviously because his lucrative show and connections in the business. But basically, there's two people who are the reason Hassan's big. Destiny, because they were homies back in the day, believe it or not, before all this beef, and his uncle. But I'm sure you've probably had time to read this by now. If Hassan is going to reach this hard to say that I kickstarted Fuentes' career, then I'm responsible for his career 10 times over. Also, Hassan fucked a 15-year-old when he was visiting that brothel in Berlin. That's why he doesn't like to talk about it as much now. Which is crazy allegations. Actually fucking crazy allegations. But then he follows that up with this tweet here. Somebody said, that's quite the allegation. It's common knowledge behind the scenes. If Hassan wants to contest it, he can sue me, but he won't because truth is an absolute defense against defamation. But I actually do wonder two things. How the fuck is he going to prove that? The only way that I can imagine that he can prove that is some real fucked up shit that he must possess. And also, it's common knowledge behind the scenes. Why is every... Okay, I'm about to crash out majorly right now. I'm about to fucking crash out majorly. Why are all streamers freaks? Why are they all fucking freaks, man? Why do they all have skeletons in the closet and they all know about each other's skeletons in the closet? And it's only when you can weaponize it to take somebody down that you used to be friends with that you don't like anymore that the closet door opens and they all fucking fall out, dude. Why is that? And it's always the motherfuckers who sit on their soapbox and go, I'm morally better than you. I am the legend. You are the student. It's always those guys who know about stuff, or they have stuff in their closet, or both. More often than not, it's both. Why is it always these guys who know stuff? And they're covering it up for the sake of profit. I think online content creation industry is vastly more disgusting than Hollywood. And that depends on how far into the whole Hollywood thing you get. House of Cards moment? Yeah, exactly. But I just think it's fucking insane that they're all covering for each other and nobody seems to really give a shit. People keep going, it's alright, they're famous streamers. He's cooking, I just got back. Welcome back, Random Tomato Gaming. But it's fucking, I'm losing my mind here because they all have shit in their closet. They all have a whole bunch of shit in their closet, but nobody seems to mind. Nobody seems to give a fuck. Nah, whatever. Whatever, dude. But then, mind you, now because I'm morally stipulating, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of skeletons in my closet by the time I get 10,000 concurrent viewers. You know what I mean? That's usually how it works. That's usually how that shit works. Sadly, but true. The bigger you get, the more skeletons you have in your closet. So it seems to be. Now, like I said, this is massive if true. This is massive if true. And they're very heavy, very heavy allegations. I just hope, for the sake of everybody in Berlin, and also Destiny, that this isn't true at all. I don't know. I can't say either way definitively, because I wasn't in Berlin. And I sure as shit didn't go to a brothel there. I've never been to Berlin. That's what Hassan's about to say. Evil. First the dog thing, now this. Okay. Alright. Let's dive deeper into the Hassan rabbit hole, I suppose, whilst we're here. Hassan has recently gone to China. He's gone on a little trip. He's had a little bit of fun. He's diving deep into the to the China rabbit hole. Hang on, sorry. One moment, please. I apologize. I have to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I've been disturbed. How very unprofessional of me. Hey, at least I'm not picking up a fucking laser zapper and tasing the shit out of my dog. Whoopsie. If any of the Twitch orbiters, the Hassan orbiters, heard me say that, it's over for me. I'm getting shot, I'm getting put down, I'm getting called a fucking moron. They would never call me a retard though, they stand on their soapbox too much. Lol, that clip was funny as fuck. Hootendale, start clip farming for me, brother. Start doing something. But he recently went to China, right? Because as we all know, Hassan absolutely loved the Chinese, which is fair enough. Here on the Ike Palmer channel, we love the Chinese as well. What we don't love so much is the Chinese. I don't even want to say it because like they're gonna send people to my house. It's gonna be over for me if I if I say anything along the lines of what I want to say. We don't love the Chinese government so much, but because Hassan lives in a world where communism is the best outcome, I feel like this is literally just me going full force, like Hong Kong 97, Hong Kong 96, 97. Whenever the fuck they went back to from British rule to Chinese, was that one Angry Video Game Nerd video? Hong Kong 97 is 97, 1997. Yep. Now I sound like Hassan. I'm starting to yeah, you're like for real close to them. Yeah, they could very easily send agents into my, well, look, I've even got my blind open for my window, so if you see a red laser dot appear on my forehead, just let me know, alright? And by the time it shows up on your screen, it's gonna be too late. But basically, he went to China, right? And he's talking about how much he loves it, which is fair enough. You know, like when you travel, you want to talk about how much you love places. But we got this little clip right here. Him talking about his love for China.
My mind, in my conscience, I have already become Chinese. Okay? We were already white Chinese in this chat. I've already become full Chinese. Okay?
He's got the Mao costume on.
Let me just start by saying that.
Good start.
It's fucking sick. Okay? Like, you have abundant style consumption paired up with a central.
Hang on. Abundant style consumption. Abundant style consumption. What political ideology does that literally go absolutely against? Abundant style consumption. Instead of distributing resources to the masses evenly. Unless I've completely misinterpreted the political ideology of which they tend to stand for.
Centrally controlled economy, an economic system that has yielded tremendous development. You have
yes, it has yielded tremendous development over the last few decades. However, you want to find, do you know how that started? Do you know how everybody had 5 grains of rice in their in their government rations every 6 months? Totally not showing him the parts they want the world to see. Well, it's like if you ever get a government guided tour of North Korea, which I've known a couple of people who have. I find it really interesting that that he's like going so crazy on it. Like, of course they're gonna glaze him, and like there's a clip of him walking into a Huawei store. I don't know how to say it. Huawei. Bro, talking like a college, like a college paper. Yeah, real. I'm out here pretending I'm more knowledgeable on shit that I got no idea about. See, but at least I can admit that. At least I can admit that I have no idea about what the fuck's going on. This guy just pretends that he does.
1950s Soviet era building blocks next to the Gucci store. If there was ever a country that represented the synthesis, the things that I enjoy so much personally.
I feel like that clip speaks for itself if you have any modicum of common sense. If you have any tiny little drop of brain cells floating within your skull, I feel like that's basically as far as it goes. Also, for being a bread tuber, he loves a country that likes to ban gay dating apps, ironically enough. Gentleman Square is an interesting one if you ask me personally. Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's literally just like a communist weeb. You know what I mean? It's like all the weebs who go to Japan and then they cream their pants. They're like, oh my god, I saw this in this anime. And then, look, you can enjoy anime, that's fine. But if you take it to the nth degree and you're like, I learnt anime from the sub and not the dub because it's the superior version of the content. He enjoys 100 million deaths. That's crazy. And like the thing is, I hate talking about this stuff because then it becomes inherently political, and I really, really don't like talking about politics. But I suppose we can all sit here and laugh at these little clips because there's literally nothing else we can do because it's a little bit ridiculous, to be completely honest and blatant with you. Here's another clip of him going to I think it was a flag raising ceremony. Is that what it was? Let me have a look. In Tiananmen Square. Abe called it. Let's have a look at this. Let's see what happens. So he holds up a meme of Mao, which is technically not even Mao, it's just him. It's like Mao uniform with his face on it, which is literally what he's doing here.
Roger, you seen this? Oh yeah.
Or is it a Mao comparison? I don't know.
Yeah.
The quality is horrible. Did somebody record this? What is that? Who's there? What are those lights?
Okay.
What? Hey? Where'd the camera go down? What are they asking him? What are they talking about? Now, allegedly he was arrested after this. That's not true, as far as he's said. And look, to be honest, as far as I can confirm, he wasn't ever actually arrested for this clip. However, the police see a meme and then they go, see, this is like what they talking about 1984. China. I love this clip, dude. This is my favorite clip of Hassan. Like every other clip of Hassan where it's literally nothing going on. Like live Hassan reaction. Hang on. Let's do a live Hassan reaction to a Hassan clip. I'm gonna get under my desk, ladies and gentlemen. Please enjoy this while I disappear for the bit.
photo. So he wants to see the photo. Oh, I didn't take a photo. So have you recorded anything? No, not yet. No. Yeah, he said he saw you. Oh, I was holding the camera out, but I didn't do anything yet.
You want to know something? You want to know something, ladies and gentlemen? Ironically enough, the viewers sort of spiked up when I was doing a live Hassan reaction, but something feels morally wrong about that, because you know what'll happen? I'm gonna get sued like Ink Slasher by Hassan, who is a famous legal and political scientist.
So he wants to see the background of your. Of my phone? Yeah. Sure. Or like a live show. Or,
Best reaction all night. Okay, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Why do I even bother? Why do I even fucking bother? But they're asking him to go through his phone because there was a meme of Mao. Isn't that crazy? How there's certain people that you can't criticize or speak out against unless you want to get interviewed or accosted by the police. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that a bit strange? Isn't that a bit weird? Isn't that a bit funky? Does anybody else think that that's a little bit overstepping? Or am I the only one here who thinks that? Am I going crazy? Am I the one who has the wrong fucking take? I don't know. I can't tell. Now, I actually do want to do a proper Hassan reaction. But like I said, I can't ow, what the fuck? I can't in good conscience do that. Because then I'll feel like a bit of a scumbag. But I do have to piss real bad. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be... Actually, no, you know what? No, we'll be right back. do a Nina Lynn cosplay? LARP? Live action roleplay of Nina Lynn pissed loud on camera? Hey look, going back to the matter at hand. You mind if a white boy smoke a little double happiness and start speaking Chinese? You mind if I say Bei Feng Xiao Jidao Tian Di Song Hua? I want to play that song so bad. It's a beautiful song. It's a fucking wonderful song, but I can't play it because otherwise I'm going to get shot by either the CCP or YouTube moderation. Content moderation. I think. You know what? I should have had a cigarette while I went out there. I didn't pee outside, by the way. Just to make it very evidently clear that that's not what happened. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was looking for the fucking video, but I couldn't find it. Sorry, not the video, the right scene, the right source in my fucking OBS. I was having struggles, ladies and gentlemen. Not an Ike Palmer stream if I don't have technological issues on the way out, or the way in, or the way in halfway through. So basically this is Hassan talking about the situation, defending the CCP security forces who briefly detained his friend. So his friend did get got for that because of the thing that he had on his phone that he showed up for a split second. I don't know how they saw that so fast though. It was literally like this. It went, haha, do you see that? That's funny as fuck. And then they were like, hey, can we see that? Can we see that? Do you want to share that meme with us, buddy? Saying that it was understandable because they were white and Chinese police had to be on high alert for white anti-China agitators. Allegedly.
Whenever the police showed up, they thought, so that thing that we went to.
Hang on, do I have this set to 2 times speed? No. Okay, finally somebody put this motherfucker on 2 times speed. I'll be so honest, I put everything that I watch on 2 times speed. Because I kind of have to. It's crazy if I don't. You can soak up so much more information if it's on 2 times speed. And Hassan is a wealth of knowledge and information.
Okay. The flag raising ceremony is not in focus. Hold on, I'm gonna fix it.
It was a flag raising ceremony.
The flag raising ceremony that we went to is not a thing that white people normally go to, right? It's not normally.
Really?
It's not normally something that like white people attend, right?
You were the first white person to ever attend a flag raising ceremony? Hang on. Are you white? Not to be like a purist or anything. He's Turkish, right? This motherfucker's Turkish. Let me just do a little bit of Googling real quick because I'm pretty sure there's internment camps of individuals of your ethnic group getting put in internment camps in China. I find it really strange how he's just like absolutely creaming on it when he's acting like those camps don't exist. I don't know. I think that's pretty fucking crazy. The white messiah of China, that's pretty fucking crazy. Could you imagine the content it would be shitting out if this happened in America? Yeah, exactly. That's the hyper hypocrisy of it. Like, he had a meltdown when I think it was TSA wanted to go through his stuff at the airport. He talked about that for quite a while on one of his streams. But they want to go through his phone? Oh, it makes sense. We white.
And I assume that they are probably extra attentive and extra careful about people coming to do some fuck shit. Like, there's a reason why, for example, there were Chinese nationals on each other's backs, right? But I knew that, like, if we did it, we would get called out by cops.
Interesting. Is that because there is a history of events of great devastation happening in Tiananmen Square? to do with the clash of the general public and the government? I don't know.
Because, like, by and large, especially, like, the government is aware of, like, how they are perceived, or how much, like, anti-Chinese propaganda exists out there. And I think the older people are also aware of it as well, but I think the younger populations in China are, ironically enough, less aware. Like, the younger normies are less aware of the animosity that exists, which shouldn't exist at all, obviously, but unfortunately does. And it's almost entirely one-sided, entirely designed by America.
Dan, that's crazy. That's crazy. This guy is single-handedly evening out the wrongs that were done by condemning the fucking ugly reg. Let's ask Hong Kong how well that went.
Well, yeah, we're white. So as foreigners in China at this like national event rather than an international one, where as you guys noticed, like they didn't have any like foreigners there at all. He thought he saw something on the phone.
He did.
He thought he saw something on the phone. Like he thought we were like making a mockery. You know what I mean? They didn't realize that we were swagged out white boys who love China.
That's a crazy thing to say. That's a crazy thing to say, brother. Swagged out white boys who love China. I mean, technically, you going dressed like Mao is kind of making a mockery. Is it not? Is that a crazy take to have? Is that... Okay. I feel like I'm going fucking insane right here. Here's the chosen one. Will lead us to salvation or starvation, either one. And it will only cost another 100 million of us. Dude.
Are you being careful with
Dude, what a small price to pay. What is this, like the trolley problem? Capitalism, yeah. And it's Marlboro too. What a shit brand of cigarettes.
words? No, I'm just telling you like it is.
Are
Like
you?
they thought we were they were
coping?
being extra attentive to make sure that no one is making fun of Mao or anything like that, or the ceremony, and that's what they were that's what it was. It's normal for police to take close to the foreigners to make sure that white people don't do some shit. Yeah, it's just
okay.
Yeah, it's a cultural difference, and also they just don't want anyone to pull a fucking Logan Paul or anything like that. How was it resolved? What do you mean? We just like talk.
Pull a Logan Paul. What? Film they want to make sure that nobody's filming war crimes that are being committed in Tiananmen Square again.
We just were like, no, that's not, we're not doing that at all. We're just here to experience the event. I told you would end up in jail. You got lucky this time. Yeah, okay, calm down. That's not. You're being ridiculous. This is actually one of the things that I want to show Americans in general, because like people have this like false assertion, false notion that it's people have this like false notion that it's like they will arrest you for a meme or whatever. It's not like that at all. Okay, calm down. It's funny because like.
So why the fuck is a vast majority of their social media like this guy wouldn't even be allowed to exist in China? You know what I mean? Like all of the streaming services that is on are not allowed to be viewed by Chinese citizens. Does he know that? Does he know that? Does he know that TikTok has a complete opposite platform called Douyin? Does he know that Facebook doesn't exist? Right? They have an alternative, but it's regulated by the government. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, you can have either corporate overreach or government overreach. What would you rather? Those are your two options. You figure it out. You figure it out, man. I think I know what I'd much rather. At least one of them stimulates the economy and saves people from starvation.
Like I've dealt with cops at this point all around the world, as you guys know. So as far as like cops that I've dealt with all around the world, European cops in France, American cops, just European cops in other European countries, and even Japanese cops as well, I will say that it's not even remotely up there. The further west you go, the worse cops get, the more aggressive they get. America being the worst one out of all of them.
Crazy. Crazy. Crazy sauce. Once again, and I hate to say it, I'll be right back. One moment, please. I have to pee again. That game of subs has gone through me like a fucking freight train, dude. It's not good. Alright, we back. We back. Sorry about that. My blood is getting full. Literally like needling right now. That's the craziest part. That's the craziest part. Whoever said that was so fucking real. Okay. What the fuck does it mean, emergency? I'm getting like the Australian equivalent of an Amber Alert right now. What is it? Oh, what the fuck? Okay, never mind. What is happening? What is happening? Why did I get that notification right now? When I'm talking about... Oh, that's scary. That's scary and suspicious, ladies and gentlemen. Are they gonna get me? They're gonna fucking get me, aren't they? They're gonna find me. And they're going to... They're gonna do their thing. They're gonna put me in the... I can't even say that. I can't even say that at all.
Wait, what?
Oh my god. Alright, so this is a... Big Brother is watching you. They're always watching, dude. 1984. 1984, 1985. Fuck, what's the difference, huh? What's the goddamn difference? It's all the same. There is a clip of... Once again, we started the stream with somebody coping over not being invited to the Streamer Awards, and we're gonna... I was gonna say we're gonna close out the stream with somebody coping that they're not being invited to the Streamer Awards, but we're not quite closing out the stream yet. We still got a little bit of, we got a couple of content. We got a couple of topics to talk about yet, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Let's see if I... Fuck. This is crazy. Crazy live. Alright, better. Better. I had to fix my bitrate on my fucking OBS. You're gonna get whacked? No, that was me. That was my bad. That wasn't... That was my OBS being shit. That wasn't my, That wasn't a laser beam being pointed through my fucking window. Alright. Fuck. Dude. I'm fumbling now. I threw the bag out a window. Let's be honest. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is it. This is the one. So... This is Hassan coping about not being invited to the Streamer Awards for whatever reason.
No Streamer Awards. Noms, Sag.
I'm so sorry. Oh, I didn't even fucking... Okay.
I mean... Yeah, we weren't gonna win anything, let's be real. 12K.
Why is that? Is it because you were
How was the
in
podcast?
China?
It was amazing. It's probably the best podcast we've ever... probably one of the better podcast episodes we've done. No nomination, who cares, lol? Yeah, I know. It's funny because it's like, this has been a relatively tumultuous year.
Did it say something about China on your phone? No, it didn't. It didn't. That'd be fucking crazy if it did. They gonna get me.
But it's also been...
I feel like if it was, and then I admitted that it was, then I would get taken
probably
out
the most
easily, very quickly.
effective in my career.
What are you talking about?
If you just wake up, yeah.
Dude, this is crazy.
I have found myself growing further and further away from the Twitch audience. Or not Twitch audience necessarily, but just like Twitch streaming.
How about you grow further and further away from streaming at all? Acting like you don't live in a fucking multi-million-dollar mansion preaching about fucking... giving it back to the people! Seize the means of production! Fucking commies, man. What the fuck? Look, all I'm gonna say is... It would be a Christmas miracle if he stopped streaming on Twitch or stopped streaming at all. Hercules, Hercules, please, leave.
And the audiences that exist on Twitch.
You made your audience... Look, I'm sorry I keep fucking clip farming the shit out of this, but you made your audience, brother. You literally built up your own audience, and if you're getting sick of them, you made your bed, and now you must lie in it. Crazy thought. Crazy fucking thought. Accountability for your actions has shown up at the door. Do you answer? Do you open the door?
And I feel like I've been the most impactful I've been in my career.
Why? Because
the
you
more
went to
like
China.
mainstream recognition I receive as a you know, political commentator, the more angry and resentful other political commentary adjacent people get.
How is that a reflection of how effective you are at streaming or making an actual difference? How is getting like other people's reactions based on what you say and what you do a reflection of how effective you are? I don't think it is. I feel like that's a great misrepresentation of the thing that you're actually trying to achieve. Unless this whole thing has just been a massive troll and to piss people off. You know what I mean? To get people to cope and seethe when they don't agree with you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He radicalizes people and then plays the victim. Yeah, exactly. He's basically he is admitting he doesn't like himself. Crazy. Crazy.
And the more they fucking do smear campaigns, and the more separated and connected I feel from the Twitch community.
This guy's literally coping like iDubbbz right now.
No one got nominated who does political content.
Oh, I mean, like, shock horror, he's coping like iDubbbz because, like, they're best friends now. So this guy's whispered in iDubbbz ear, this is how you get out of it. This is how you can always win. You basically say that your audience is a piece of shit and you've never agreed with them anyway, even though they are a direct reflection of exactly what you've put out onto the internet and a reflection of what you've built. Insane. Was that a crazy take? I don't think so. See you, Hootendale. Enjoy work. Good luck. Good luck, my friend.
That's who it is, what it is? Yeah. Yeah, except XQC, who literally live streamed with the president, with the current president. But I guess that's not, he's not considered a political streamer because he's XQC.
He's also... you actively are trying to be a political streamer. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Why are you mad that you're being considered a political streamer but XQC's not when you were literally... Okay. Alright. Like, in the same vein that, like, I cover funny little internet topics, right? And we've had maybe, what? This is like a 15-minute bit? Maybe a little bit more than 15 minutes talking about Hassan, right? Let's say, for sake of example, it was 25 minutes. That's like calling me a political streamer because I've spoken about somewhat political things for 20 minutes. When you look at the back catalogue of my fucking channel, I've got well over 100 hours worth of content that isn't any of that whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just cope and seethe and be so upset that you literally... I'm gonna pull my fucking hair out, man. I'm going fucking insane. This guy's stupid. This guy's a fucking moron. Are you surprised? Are you shocked, ladies and gentlemen, of the audience? That this guy's an absolute... I need to calm down. I've had too much caffeine. I've had way too much caffeine. Okay. He also makes content attending protests. Yeah, exactly. Like when he puts a shock collar on his dog, gets to go back on the bed and to prove that the dog's okay, and he does take it out for walks. He goes to a protest while he's wearing a bulletproof vest. Okay, alright, buddy. So it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you can't just fucking... Like, literally the thing that you built and you're complaining about the fact that you built it. Dude. That's like building your own house and then going, oh, fuck, the door doesn't fit. Yeah, it doesn't fit because you didn't fucking measure it. You know what I mean? Doesn't make... Oh. I need to... I need more gamer schlop. I need more gamer schlop to stop me from going fucking insane on this. Alright. Now, I know I spent 2 hours not talking about what the title of this is. Basically because you got to leave the good stuff to the end, right? So you got the title, which hooks people, and then you've got, hopefully they fall in love with the content on the way, on the journey. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey we have along the way. You know what I mean? It's like me building a pirate-themed RPG server and then complaining that people act like pirates. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make any sense. It's not conducive to anybody's experience of your platform or your experience of your own life or the people who enjoy your product. You know, it doesn't... Fuck it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, streamer and YouTube personality Jack Doherty was arrested early yesterday on Miami Beach after allegedly obstructing traffic while recording a video. Now, he was doing a little dare. He was doing a little bet. Yeah, I bet. He was trying to prove a point. He was trying to look like a big fella. He was trying to look like a big fella without his 7 security guard entourage gangbang. Like that picture of Piper Perry sitting on the couch and there's those 5 black guys behind him, behind her. That's Jack Doherty. That's Jack Doherty with his security entourage right there. Ike versus Hassan boxing match. Don't make me go Sam Hyde mode. Don't make me turn into the Candyman. I'll kill you, Hassan Piker. In video games? No, in real life. I love that clip. It's so good. But yes, he was recently arrested because he was standing in the middle of the road. But the big kicker here is that he also had illicit substances on his person. So, YouTube star Jack Doherty arrested in Miami Beach for obstructing traffic and drug possession. According to NBC Miami, Doherty, 22, entered the Doherty, 22, entered the roadway to film content, prompting police to intervene for safety reasons. But he refused to get out of the fucking way, right? So I saw this article and I read through it and I saw this mugshot. What a beautiful mugshot, dude. What a beautiful fucking mugshot. It reminds me of something, but I don't know what it is. What is it that it reminds me of? Whoop. Whoop. Got him. Got him, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is literally everything wrong with the internet. I don't, like... I feel like the argument could be made that what I'm about to say is because I'm very envious of him or whatever, but if I had to act like him to get famous, I'm very more than happy exactly where I am. Thank you very much. Because if you're gonna do stunts like this, okay, fine, whatever. Just make sure, if you're gonna stand in the middle of the road, in front of the police, in a very populated street, you don't have Schedule 2 amphetamines on your person. Or 3 hand-rolled joints containing about 4 grams of cannabis. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna do that kind of stuff, cool, whatever, rock and roll, brother. Just keep your content creation and your drug intake very separate. I was actually about to make a real bad comparison, because there's somebody else who's not very good that took a whole bunch of amphets, but I don't feel like that's a very fair comparison. Bro has always been a genius. Me or him? If you're talking about him, you're right. If you're talking about me, I'm kind of silly. I'm kind of moronic. Okay, I'm off. Have a good night. Well, thanks for joining Random Tomato. Good to see you. Bye. That photo. Lol. Alright, so this is the clip. Had marijuana and amphetamines. So I would assume that he basically just had Adderall, because you've got to be jacked up somehow to be able to pull this kind of shit off, right? We got the clip right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can get the... Yeah, that's the better one. That's the better one of the two. Turn that shit up.
The sidewalk now, okay. No, I'm chilling. Now!
What the fuck you think you are, bro? The weapons and the needles, anything can poke me? Oh my God. I don't think you understand, man.
Him 100%. You're kind of goated. I wouldn't go that far. Free Jack. What a moron. Imagine seeing your friend getting arrested and just being like, hey, free Jack. Yeah, Jack off. Fucking moron. What's that?
Yo, wait, chill. Can I take that off and give it to someone? Wait, no, you can't take it off like that. Yo, chill. Wait, can I take it off? I'll take it right over.
Does he literally just have one pill? Also, technically, this could be any, like, they say amphetamines. This could be anything from, like, Adderall to MDMA to meth. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very broad schedule of drugs. So when people are writing articles being like amphetamines and weed, the weed, look, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but the amphets, I don't know. Like, this looks sort of like a pressed pill. Either that or it looks like the top of a fucking Dorito been falling off in his pocket. Isn't he the dude who crashed the supercar with his friend and continued to stream it all? Absolutely. This guy's on the content grind for anything, dude. I just think the mugshot is fucking iconic. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's fine. You have to, like, slide it off your wrist. Like, you can't take it off anyway. Talk. I think this MDMA?
Okay, yeah, it is MDMA. Dude, I'm a legend. I'm a legend when it comes to identifying that stuff, dude. I got that sniffer nose. I got that sniffer dog nose, you know what I'm saying?
You know, I just don't want to fuck it up, you know? Give me some on. Depends watch. Also, you can't take it off that way. So you hold on to that. Like, if you can. The sidewalk now.
Crazy sauce. Crazy sauce. What a loser. What a silly little Billy. He was just playing in the road and then they told him to get the fuck off. All I'm going to say is if you're going to play in the road, don't have MDMA in your pocket. One, don't have loose MDMA in your pocket ever. You want to start fucking rolling, have your eyes as big as dinner plates, but you know the biggest problem is, I think I've just eaten a handful of lint, dude. Like, what? Why? Why, dude? It's not that hard to fucking, or at least put it in a cap, dude. Be normal. Be fucking normal. I knew he had to be on something to be able to keep up that level, that energy of content. And I'm not talking about caffeine, baby. He's on that Adderall grind set. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Oh. But Jack Doherty, immediately after being released from jail, immediately after being arrested, he goes right back into it and he gets pressed by this guy. I think he's another streamer, perhaps. Let me have a look. Let me have a little Google. Let's put the lo-fi chill beats back on. No. But this guy gets pressed, right? I just want to take a look at this, right? Look at their posture. Look, he's leaning in. This guy's perfectly, what is it? Physiognomy. Jack's leaned in like this. The other guy, perfectly straight up, dude. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? The guy on that side, not him. The guy on the other side, legend. Massive legend. Basically saying, we'll watch it in a second, but he's basically just saying that him and his security guard kissed.
Hey bro, stop trying.
Hell yeah, bro, still live. 2 hours got that. Yeah, we've been doing a big one. We're getting back into the swing of things. I'm getting fucking real with it, dude. Welcome to Graves. I did mention you at the start of the stream, by the way. Ike Palmer OG out here. Ain't that the truth? Alright, let's go through this. Let's go through this real quick. Because we are just about to end the stream. Sorry. Not you showed up at the worst time, dude. I'm sorry. I apologize. But literally nothing is good. I have a terrible hangover. Lol. But that also implies that the night before had to have been good for you to have a hangover. Well, maybe. I don't know. I see it as like that. I'm a glass half full optimist kind of guy. I'm an Optimus Prime.
Get little baby dick out your mouth, dumbass dick rider. And get my dick out of your mouth too, boy. Get away from me, boy. Get the fuck out of here. Ooh. You. Get out of my face.
all I'm thinking about, right? This guy getting right up in his grill. He's trying to fight back. There's about 4 inches of height difference. But my biggest concern is this lady in the back here. Or dude, I don't know. This individual in the back here just trying to sell some fucking, I don't know, some ice cream. Trying to sell some motherfucking tacos. And you're standing in front of it being absolutely disruptive as you always are for the sake of content. She's just trying to sell a little snack to some motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the lady in the car just watching. She got no other choice. She got no other fucking choice. It's over. She ain't making no money. She ain't making no money. Hey, look. If you ever in Miami and you see this food truck, go and spend $4,000 there because, you know what? She should just sue for damages. Easy. I was fine until I had to force myself to throw up. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that too, Graves. But sometimes it do be like that. What I missed? Damn. Oh, you missed a lot. I mean, I've been live for 2 hours. You missed a lot, brother.
Get out of my face. I will smack the... Yo, you lucky this man right here, bro. Get out of my face. I respect the dog shit out of you. What have I done to you? I respect the dog shit out of you. Get out of my...
I love that saying, though. I've never heard that saying before. I'm going to smack the dog shit out of you. I might even add that to my repertoire. Dude, I'm going to... Oh, if you're not careful, I'm going to smack the dog shit out of you. I'm going to smack the dog shit out of you, dude. What is that? What does that mean? What does that even mean, dude? That's pretty crazy to me.
Face, bro. I would respect the dog. You got this man right here, bro. That's security right there. That's security. You think I'm like a big bad... over, bro. You think I'm like a big bad wolf, over. Bro. You think I'm like a big bad...
I just find it so funny that immediately after he got out of jail, he doesn't get arrested because he doesn't deserve arrest. He's always on that content grind, being a dickhead. So he's gonna get that. Oh, I was gonna say he's always gonna get that dickhead grind, but that came off a lot worse than what I was trying to get at. I kind of gaffed it a bit there. What else we got? What else we got? Is that the end of the docket? Have we done it, ladies and gentlemen? After 2 hours and 15 minutes. Damn, we kind of turned this into a real fucking live stream, haven't we? Ike Palmer's back in a big way. Hey, that's how it is. That's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's excellent being back. And it's been a while. But I feel like we're fully into the swing of things now. Now, what do they say? 30 days makes a habit? Is it 30 days? How many days to develop a habit? It is 66 days to make a habit automatic, although the range can be anywhere from 18 to 254 days, depending on the person and the behavior. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. You're telling me I'm gonna have to do this consistently for 254 days non-stop to build a habit if I'm that kind of person physiologically? What the hell? Fuck my silly little life, dude. The popular belief it takes 21 days is a myth. The 21-day figure is not supported by scientific evidence. Okay, fuck, forget about it then. I was gonna say, we've done more than 21 days. We've been uploading a short every day for 28 or 29, I think. I'm not too sure. But we basically gonna have to get on that shit real soon. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson better, I'm gonna fuck you and make you love me. Saying that to another man. Yeah, that's real. Bro better lock in for 200-ish days. Yeah, otherwise it's over for Ike Palmer. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen after 200-ish days? It could be monumental to the Ike Palmer Society. Ike Palmer Society of the based and winning, dude. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Off Mic Ike, episode number 9. I think we'll leave it there because, surprisingly enough, I have to piss again, and I've had to piss about 3 or 4 times throughout the course of this stream. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've all been brilliant and wonderful. I have been Ike Palmer. I'll see you all next week.